General Sibiya.
Chair, I want to ask a question in relation to the Honorable Member Skosana, that because he's a complainant in my case, and this is the person I'm going to sit with at some point, stand against in court, because he's a complainant. And him using this platform now to solicit answers from me that I'm going to have to defend before court, to me, it's a very serious concern. This is the member that I feel is working with General Mkhwanazi, because the statement that was used by the General Mkhwanazi's team to go and open a case, this name is there. Now I must stand before the same member to cross-examine or to ask me questions. Now I'm raising a concern.
Yeah.
If I can be protected.
I'm going to protect you in this way. You are raising a legitimate concern, and then we may not even be seen trampling on your rights. What I will advise you to do, because I explained to you yesterday that sitting here as the committee, we do not have any power to decide on how we are composed. So to protect your rights, I will advise you to decide if you want to respond to the question or not. If a question is asked to you, you can decide if you want to respond to it or not.
And if I say I don't want to respond to his questions?
No. We have to follow the process. You can't say, I don't want to respond to your questions. We must allow him to ask the questions. And then if you say, I reserve my right to comment, then it's okay.
Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, there's a portal, Chair. Sitting in front of us is Honorable Skosana, who was sent by Umkhonto Wesizwe. Umkhonto Wesizwe is the one that opened the case. Now, let me remind you quickly, Chair. At one stage, South African says Parliament did nothing when Honorable General Mkhwanazi came to Parliament on this matter. So Umkhonto Wesizwe took an initiative before, at the same time when Honorable General Mkhwanazi spoke about this matter and opened a case. It is Umkhonto Wesizwe, not Honorable Skosana. It can be in a case where General Sibiya will be sitting with somebody else in court, not to Skosana, sent by Umkhonto Wesizwe. So I think the clarification is pure and clear, Chair, that he must answer questions. And when you say he must not answer questions, sorry, Chair, when you say he must not answer, you can decide on which questions to answer or not. He can say from number 1 to 30, no, I don't want to answer. No, I don't want to answer. Where are we going to do that?
No, I'm not saying that he must not answer.
No, Chair, you are saying that he must decide if he wants to answer or not. So if from number 1 to 100, he decides, okay, he's going to waste our time and say, he asked a question and then he says, no, I don't want to answer. No, I don't want, until number 100. What is that? Is it not the same as what you have instructed or somehow gave him an option not to answer? So I think this is separated from court. This is Parliament. He must answer to Parliament. Here is answering to a parliamentarian who's sent by South Africans, not a person who opened the case sent by Umkhonto Wesizwe. Two matters are separate here, I think. Thank you.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Chairperson, thank you very much. My apologies. When the matter was raised, I was responding to a nature call. I'm actually surprised that the matter has been raised by a witness, because if my memory serves me well, the position that we took yesterday in relation to this matter is that there will be a legal advice from the office of the Speaker. But before that, a member, Andile, from the technical team, made an indication that as far as the applicable law is concerned, there is no crisis here. Honorable Skosana can continue to participate in a meeting. And that decision was communicated to the witness, Chair. I remember you conveying, and you even made a reference to the terms of reference. The witness said, it's fine, Chair, if that is a position, I will continue. But please note that I had a protest. Those were his reply. For him to come and raise the same issue here, even when it was better clarified yesterday, I think it is undesirable, Chairperson. We had a position on this matter. If there's anything that is outstanding, is a legal advice from the office of the Speaker. If still the committee members are not satisfied with a response that was given by Andile, we also even said, as the MK party, if there is a legal advice coming from the office of the Speaker, we will also consult our own senior counsel in this regard to ensure that there is a strike of balance and we are satisfied with what has been communicated to us as a legal position. So I really understand, maybe the witness has forgotten, but my memory reminds me that this is a position that we agreed upon yesterday.
Honorable Matthys.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me after. Okay, just a few things, Chair. I think we are keep regressing on this matter, right? So we have gotten an opinion from our Parliament lawyers, and not just on these matters, but when we were discussing recusal on a lot of different members. It's clear, number one, Chair, that there's no independent member of Parliament in South Africa. We are political party democracy. The things that we do it on behalf of our political party. The next thing we're going to have here is that we're going to be told when Cyril Ramaphosa appears here that the EFF or the Commander-in-Chief must recuse himself because we've got a case against him in the Constitutional Court. That's where we are heading. Further, Chair, even if any of these members from their political parties, we as a committee take a decision, which we don't have the power to do, both within our terms of reference and within the rules of Parliament, because the rules don't cover the issue of recusal, right? We're political party members. Nothing stops the other member from the same party or the party of holding that position. So I can recuse myself because I've opened a case on behalf of a party. That doesn't mean that Honorable Malema, we don't have the same position, and when he comes here, he presents the same thing. The same thing, Honorable Skosana, even if he makes a decision to recuse himself, it doesn't stop his other members from asking exactly the same questions. So I think we are really wasting our time, and we just need to move. I don't even think we need to have a legal opinion about this. It's very, very clear. There's nothing in both our rules of Parliament and both in this ad hoc committee that says that members or gives us as a committee or even as Parliament for any members to recuse themselves unless they've gone through some ethics process or powers and privileges process. And none of us have done that. Thank you.
Is there any other honorable member who wants to speak on this matter? Okay. Look, the witness yesterday raised a matter on the participation of Honorable Skosana in the proceedings. And members are right, we explained to General Sibiya that in terms of the rules that we have, we are unable to eject any member from this committee. What we can do is just to bring that matter to the attention of the Speaker of Parliament. That is what the rules empower us. So the matter which General Sibiya raises is different from participation in the committee. He is saying in the records that you have in the courts and the police, the complainant is Honorable Skosana. And so do you allow him to ask me questions? And I respond. And where I'm sitting as the chairperson, I can't prescribe how the questions must be answered. I can't force the witness to say, you are going to answer in this way. And that is why I say, if Honorable Skosana is going to ask questions, let's allow him to ask the questions that he has and hear what the responses of the witness are. If the witness says, no comment, that is a response. It's a response. Because we must not run these proceedings in such a way that we become unfair to a member of parliament, or we also become unfair to the witness. And if you remember, I have been emphasizing this point that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is written in the name of the citizens of this country. That's how it is written. It's in the name of the citizens. So when General Sibiya appears before us as a committee of parliament, he does not forfeit his status as a citizen of this country. And the honorable member as well is a citizen. I think what the honorable members from the MKP, if they feel that there may be a problem, they may decide to ask the same questions through another honorable member. But I mean, you are going to put the chair in a very difficult position if every time a question has been asked, especially that when we started the proceeding, General Sibiya put it on record here and said, you must know that I'm getting into these proceedings under protest. It's not something that he's raising now. So can I get indication from you, honorable members from the MKP, if you want to proceed, Honorable Skosana, to ask, or you pass your questions to?
Thank you, Chair. It will depend on the response from the witness. If the question which I have, as you said, if you say no comment, I'm going to leave those questions. There's a lot of questions besides that, but I just want to say here, Chair, before you allocate me the minutes, I don't want us to mislead the nation and the members, honorable members, that I am talking to General Mkhwanazi. That statement alone is misleading. I sit in the South African Police Service Portfolio Committee here. I mean, dealing with South African Police Service. I sit in the Police Portfolio Committee. I deal with everyone across the board, from the minister to the top management of South African Police Service, and to the ordinary member, a complainant on the ground.
Yeah.
So it can't be right to say, maybe I'm a friend, maybe no, I'm not a friend.
You are raising
I'm at work.
You are raising a valid point, Honorable Skosana, and let's get Honorable Sibiya to withdraw that part that says you opened the case because you are talking to General Mkhwanazi.
Order, Chair. Can I raise a point of order? Chair, I don't think it would be correct for you to direct a witness how to answer or what he must do. He's made the point, and I think you rather want to ask him if he wants to withdraw it. Because now it looks like you are saying to General Sibiya, withdraw that. So maybe you want to ask whether he thinks he wants to withdraw it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. General Sibiya, when you made a statement how you feel about Honorable Skosana asking you questions, you made an additional statement apart from the protest that you registered with us. you made an additional statement that goes to say he opened the case because he talks to General Mkwanas. Do you stand by that statement? I think it's what the honorable member is asking me to check with you.
Yeah, I stand by the statement for simple reasons. The fact that the honorable member went and opened a case, and then the next thing, the details of the case and the statement and everything is what the investigating officer of the case is using in applying for a search warrant. As far as I'm concerned, there has been communication. And I'm not doing it to disrespect the House. If ever, in one or another, it gets to a point where I'm regarded of being out of order, I really apologize and I would withdraw if that is the case. But if I'm not wrong, may I be allowed to still stand to that statement? Because remember, Chair, that there have been marches against me as well from the MK party. And it's the same MK party that opens a case against me. And the MK party, it was in support of General Mkwanas. The march was saying in support of General Mkwanas. And then now again, the MK party opened a case against me. And now I'm standing before an honorable member and who's now must ask questions from me, and these are the questions of which the honorable member statement or what he was mentioned in the papers that conducted the search and seizure at my house. So to me, Chair, is deeply involved in this whole thing that is going on, unfair thing that is going on against me. So I feel that here I'm standing in front of.
Yeah, I think the part that Honorable Sangoni wanted to hear is not the motivation for why you think it will be unfair for him to ask you questions. Is whether you stand by the part that says he talks to General Mkwanas.
I stand by that, Chair.
Okay. Do you want to continue, Honorable Skosana?
Oh, yes, I want to continue, Chair.
Before you continue, let me hear Honorable Souls.
Chair, this very thing that's happening now is what that concept wanted to avoid. That if someone is in conflict, because now we are discussing a case that's not part of this process, but it was exactly to avoid that. But my question of clarity on a matter of procedure, I asked it yesterday, but it wasn't responded to after the parliamentary legal advisor gave the legal opinion on the matter. So I just want to have a clear understanding. The advice was, or it sounded like it was, that honorable members on the committee is not required to be impartial. So just for procedure, not specifically for this matter, but in general, are we not required to be impartial? Thank you.
Okay. Look, we must move forward. Don't ask the chair the questions that he does not have answers. Let me tell you, honorable members.
Chair, can I just say, sorry?
Yeah.
I'm not asking you specifically.
Yeah, let me tell you how this thing is. The rules that we have say that any matter which we may pick up must be brought to the attention of the Speaker of Parliament. And sitting like this as a committee of Parliament, I have said that we don't have any authority, neither of us. I can't instruct Honorable Skosana out of this meeting. Neither can I instruct any other member of the committee. I don't have those powers. It will be arbitrary if we want to try and do. We find ourselves in a situation like this, a situation which we do not know how to extricate ourselves unless the speaker gives a directive. And remember, as a chair of the committee, I can't write to the Speaker of Parliament without your consent. That's why there is a need for a committee meeting first and say, we now write to the Speaker of Parliament, we tell her that this is what is happening. General Sibiya was here before us. He registered a protest in the proceedings as the Speaker of Parliament because the rules say we must report the matter to you. We reported the matter to you, and then we will wait to hear from you how we must proceed. For now, to save these proceedings, let's allow the honorable members to ask questions to General Sibiya. May I finish? Honorable Sols. Yeah, your hand can go down. I'm going to allow you a chance to speak. We allow the honorable members to ask General Sibiya questions, and General Sibiya will respond. Yeah. And if you are not happy with any response that he gives, you can raise your hand and say, but is there anything that you further that you may want to say, General Sibiya? And then he will tell you, yes, I have more that I can say, or I have nothing more to say. Honorable Sols.
Yes, Chair. I'm asking on a matter of procedure for how we're going to move forward, because the honorable member from the MKP based his response on the advice given by the parliamentary legal advisor. And that advice was that we are not required to be impartial. So apart from this here, I want to know procedurally as we go forward, is it true or correct that we are not expected to be impartial for procedure? Then
it's not for me to rule on that matter. The Speaker of Parliament, the office of the Speaker of Parliament, is the one that will respond to matters like this. That is why
then, Chair, you should say
I want to plead with honorable members that the situation that we face is our situation. It's not the situation of the chairperson of the committee. The rules of this House say take all these matters and elevate them to the office of the Speaker. And in your terms of reference, honorable members, are saying that you are the ones who take decisions on any matter. So the chair will wait for that moment when you have taken a decision as an ad hoc committee that a letter has to be written to the Speaker to inform her office about these developments. And so for now, I'm going to request that we proceed. I'm requesting you, honorable members, that we proceed.
So,
as the MK party, we request to be protected in this meeting. The witness has made serious allegations against the MK party. We made it on record that it's the MK party that opened the case against General Sibiya. It's impossible for 58 members to go to a police station and open one docket and be complainants, all of them. Skosana was delegated by the MK party. Now, General Sibiya, in his attempts to subvert the MK party, says the case was opened because Skosana is in communication with General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Chair, we're not taking that lightly, because the case, I think I said it 10 times yesterday, that the case was never opened by Skosana. Skosana was a messenger. Now, as the MK party were being were being insulted here. That the reason why we opened that case is because of a relationship with Skosana and General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. We opened that case because a press briefing was made, and that doesn't mean that we're in support of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. We believe that the allegations that he made need to be investigated by a police officer, and it ends there. For him to come and cast aspersions here, Chair, and you are not protecting us, really is uncalled for. He must not do that in future. You have a responsibility to protect both us as members and the witness, Chairperson. Thank you very much. I just wanted to register that.
And remember, I have exercised that responsibility. I called the general to withdraw that statement. And your fellow member from the African National Congress said, may I check with the general if you remember, honorable members, that I called on the general to withdraw. And a fellow member of this committee said, no, check with him if he stands by that statement. And he says, look, I'm not withdrawing. You say you're not withdrawing. That is your view.
This is how I feel, Chair.
Okay. So, members, let's do this. Let's proceed. Let's ask General Sibiya questions and hear what his responses are.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to say this is not personal. This is not personal. I haven't instructed any policeman to go and confiscate your gadgets of General Sibiya or any other thing. Once you open a case, it ends there. I don't know. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a policeman. I don't know what happened. Whatever happened, I guess they were doing their work like us here. And we cannot afford to say that the witness, because it will be a contempt of court if the witness choose not to account to Parliament. But I'll start by saying to the national